Welcome back to our PCM 25 career mode. Last episode we took on our second Grand Tour of the season, the Tour de France 2028, and our sponsor objective was winning 3 stages and we failed. We only had 2 stage wins with Watson and Magnier, and to be honest they were not the most beautiful victories in the world. Anyway, today I want to fly through August and start the third Grand Tour of the season, La Vuelta. But first it's time for my favorite part of the season, transfer season. Right now in our team, Adria Pericas has 79 mountain and medium mountain, while Lorenzo Finn has 78 mountain but 81 medium mountain and better time trial. So Finn is our best GC rider at the moment. Oh, and by the way, Unai Ramos 77 mountain, 78 medium mountain, that's a crazy growth. But that to the side, my point is that at the moment Lorenzo Finn is not ready to win the Tour de France for our team. With 6-star potential in stage races, at the age of 21 there is a chance that he grows into that by the next Tour de France, but that's no certainty. So yeah, to have our best chance at winning the Tour de France 2029, we gotta sign an additional GC rider. Now looking at our transfer dossiers, we are talking to Isaac Del Toro, but he's only got 77% interest, but 82 mountain stat would allow us to compete for the yellow jersey for sure. Full disclosure, my financial situation in this career mode was below 0, so I temporarily put it on 0 through the database. I'll put it back below 0 after the transfers. Anyway, spending 12 points to open talks with Isaac Del Toro is a lot, but I think I have to do it. On the right we can see that our remaining budget for next year is 1.6 million and Mr. Del Toro is asking for 112k per month, so what is that times 12? I think that's about 1,368,000 roughly. I'll make it 3 years and I'll make it absolute leader, but I don't think he'll do this. No, he won't. Oh, we can see the number on the right now, 1,353,000, so I was pretty close. Ooh, I just noticed that we only have 2 patient slots on Del Toro, so we've only got 1 more chance to try and sign him. Wow, 126,000 per month is about 1.5 million per year, so most of our budget, but let's try it. Oh my god, he wanted like 180k, so this was never gonna work. Now, if I'm honest, Juan Ayuso is actually not that much better than Lorenzo Finn. 77 time trial is a lot better, but less in medium mountain and only 1 mountain stat more. So I've got Ayuso selected. If I click on the right bottom here, I can open the comparison screen. And I think if I now go to Dacia Sirocco, I can maybe compare him to our man? There we go, Lorenzo Finn, yes indeed, we are comparing. Ayuso has 1 more mountain stat, 1 less medium mountain, same hill stat, better sprint of course, better time trial by 5 points, so that's valuable, and better secondaries in some places. Looks like negotiations are starting at 67k, but I'll up that towards 72 for 3 years with a leader role. Let's click on offer, and wow, okay. Did not expect that. You can see it on the right, 870k only spent on Ayuso, so half our budget is still here. I think that's our star signing done for, but now it's time for some contract extensions. Jakob Omerzel on a minimum salary contract won 2 Giro stages this year, so it's time we pay him properly. Let's try 27k important rider, almost. I think 29k will be fine. Nope, let's do 30k offer and we're done. I gotta confess, I want to re-sign Adria Pericas with 79 mountain as a super domestique, but I think I'll have blown through my entire budget already in 3 riders, so I'm a bit scared. 20k important rider, yes, nice! Budget-wise, we've got about 120k left, which is nothing. Now, Matthias Kopecky is a painful one because I don't think I can afford him. He's had a fantastic career at our team, winning 2 Grand Tour stages at the Tour de France and the Vuelta, but well, in terms of stats, he's kind of just Magnier but worse. So I think instead I'll try to go for Hector Alvarez and an extension for him. In this playthrough, he's actually not that talented, but he's a strong, versatile domestique. Wow, 10k is a lot though, and it's not enough, so I'll have to up it to maybe 11k, please? Yes. And well, I've got 20k left, so I'm basically broke. 26 riders is not exactly fantastic for a World Tour team, but it will have to do. Anyway, what is your take on our new transfers? Drop it in the comment section below. But okay, transfers to the side, it is time for our last Grand Tour of the season, La Vuelta 2028, the race that we podiumed last year, to begin in Morocco. I do think it's a lovely idea to have a Moroccan start to the Vuelta and then after stage 3, go through the Strait of Gibraltar to southern Spain. The fast mountain test comes on stage 7, and actually, just like the Giro, a bit of a cobble gravel stage on day 9. Now, I was about to say that Lorenzo Finn is not a fan of these long flat time trials, but his results at the Giro in the time trials were pretty good. Now, at the end of the second week, we have a mini Volta Catalunya with a mountain breakaway stage. followed by perhaps the Queen stage finishing on Port Rene, 19k at 6.5%, but quite steep in places. And while stage 19 is also a hard mountain stage, stage 20 is kind of disappointing. A single climb. I don't know why this is seen as a mountain stage. Anyway, overall quite a fascinating parkour, so I can't wait to get started. But let's take a look at who's racing the Vuelta this year. Our future signing Juan Ayuso at UAE Team Emirates. Carapaz as leader for Visma Lease Bike. Jai Hindley for XDS Astana, Enric Mas as the best mountain rider in this race for Movistar, which to be honest says a lot about the start list. Actually, Carlos Rodriguez for Ineos Sky is pretty good too. And of course, we bring the man who podiumed last year, Lorenzo Finn, but this time I'm going for the victory. And next to him, after doing the Tour de France, Paul Magnier is also riding the Vuelta, so the double. But most importantly, for this fast 11km time trial, Ivan Romeo is here for us, and he's actually on the brink of a fitness peak, so I wish he had it already. He's actually only 9th favorite, but I think I want to try to win this. Anyway, let's begin. Now, it is annoying that Ivan Romeo was our first rider on the road. Starting off on 99, let's go down to 86 or something. Because he's first, I couldn't test my effort on any other rider, but I reckon I should be fine. Come on, Romeo, on our way to the first time check. Let's take a look, and it's a first time by 20 seconds, so solid start. But of course, he's one of the first riders on the road, so it's not that meaningful yet. In the last stretch, 99, Romeo first time by 32 seconds. Let's hope that stays first on the board, but next up is Finn. Sheffield was on 2 seconds at the intermediate check. Let's take a look at the finish line, and he beats us by 2 seconds. No! Okay, starting off with 72 prologue on Lorenzo Finn. Let's drop it down to 86 ASAP. Finn, I will need your best time check of all time here, buddy. Let's take a look. It is 5th time right now, which is actually good. Trying to micromanage that red bar on 86, 85, 87, but I wasn't expecting to be that close at the time check. Last 500 meters, spent that red bar to the finish line, and a 8th time on 35 seconds, so that's pretty solid. I definitely expected worse. Our GC competitors are now on the road, like Hindley for example, but I don't expect that great of a time for him. Nah, 34 seconds down. Carapaz, same thing. I'm mostly scared of this guy here, Matthias Kjelmose, who I think got second last year at this Vuelta. Let's take a look at his time check, and he is on 16 seconds, so only 3 seconds faster than us. Ayuso at the first time check, let's take a look. We've got third time on 7 seconds. And actually, looking at the right top, it looks like Kjelmose has already finished now on 25 seconds of Sheffield, so that's about 10 seconds faster than Finn. But I expect Ayuso to take a little bit more time, finishing third on 12 seconds. But indeed, we finished second place, 2 seconds behind Sheffield with Romeo, so if I played a little bit better, I think I could have won this. Nonetheless, I am quite happy that Lorenzo Finn does not lose too much time to both Ayuso and Kjelmose on this first time trial. Okay, disconnected. Anyway, I reckon that's a solid start to the Vuelta for Finn. Next up is a flat sprint in Rabat, but there's barely any sprinters in this race. Matteo Moschetti is the favorite, ahead of Magnier, so I think I have to try and win the stage. What a sad sprint field. The stage has begun, a breakaway of 4 riders up the road, but it's 5 minutes. Yes, it's a large gap, but in the peloton there's like 10 teams controlling, so I don't expect this breakaway to win. In our peloton we have Magnier with a 0 day, so 78 sprint, that should be enough to be competitive. Like, it's Matteo Moschetti we're talking about, not Milan. Anyway, I've assembled my Avengers, my leadout is ready, Magnier in the wheel of Kubic, then Morgado ahead of that, Alvarez with 78 flat stat, and then Romeo as first rider. And of course, I want to keep Finn safe, so let's try and get him in the wheel of Jorgensen or something. 6.5 kilometers to go, Romeo has the upper hand right now, so let's try and keep it that way. We've got Alvarez now taking over, and let's get ready to pop the energy shells on Kubic right now. Magnier is ready to as well right now, so we're looking good. Alvarez almost done. Morgado can launch right now with 3.7 to go, which is kind of early, but I'm hoping I can survive. Slight downhill here, so that is helping. 2.5 kilometers to go. Let's launch before this corner with Morgado. Kubic is ready to launch as well right now behind the corner actually. Magnier in the wheel is looking ready, very ready. Let's launch right now on the left side of Kubic. Come on, Magnier. Come on, Magnier. Try and get past Penouet. Try and get past, but I might have gone too early. I don't know if I'll make it. Let's go. Yes! Beating Ronan Auger, whoever that is, on the final meter. Paul Magnier wins stage 2. That was so much closer than it had to be. I know I definitely launched my sprint too early with Magnier, but in the end we take the victory, and that's the most important part. And to be honest, in this sprint field we kind of had to win that sprint, so it's nice to do it. Stage 3 is a bit different, an uphill finish in Tanger. We've got Paul Magnier as 9th favorite, but I reckon I have to go for Finn, because Matthias Skjelmose is second favorite and I can't afford to lose bonus seconds to him. And Finn's hill stat is 78, so let's try to be confident. Oh, the stage begins with Finn with a +1 on the day, so 80 hill stat instead of 78, and Magnier is looking fantastic too, so maybe I should go for both. In the last 6 kilometers and the final climb is coming. It's about 2.6 kilometers, so let's do energy gel pretty soon on Finn right now. Magnier as well. We've got Romeo in the wheel looking good. I think this is where the climb starts on the right here. Kubish launches it. Romeo on 95. Is that enough? I think it should be, but Kubish needs to get out of the way, buddy. So let's do that. 1.9 kilometers to go. 95 seemingly enough. Let's make it 97 for now. Let's do this. Let's do this. Last kilometer incoming. I'm waiting as long as possible. Right now, Morgado can go with Mr. Finn and Magnier in the wheel can launch right now, but I think Finn's gonna take it. He launches to the line and Pablo Torres is coming for second place, but Lorenzo Finn is gonna win on the random climb in Tangier, and Pablo Torres comes in second, but Magnier finishes somewhere top 5. Anyway, that's our second victory in a row. I think it's fair to say this race is already going better than our Tour de France, and Finn also takes 5 seconds on the road on top of bonus seconds. Which means we move up to 3rd place in GC, about 20 seconds behind Sheffield, but ahead of Skjelmose and Ayuso lost time? He's now 10th! Like, I'm sorry, but Torres, Kristen, Jorgensen, Sheffield, where is Ayuso? Marc Soler right here, that's 5 UAE riders, and we haven't even seen Ayuso right here losing 38 seconds, so were they even riding for Ayuso? Maybe that's why he's trying to leave to our team. But after that 3rd stage, we cross the Strait of Gibraltar into southern Spain for a sprint stage, and Paul Magnier is the favorite, so let's try to deliver. Oh, Arieta starts with a sickness or something, but it's not negatively affecting his stats, so I guess it can't be that bad. Anyway, our sprint train is on the road. 30 seconds is the gap to the breakaway, which is falling apart with roughly 12 kilometers to go, so I reckon they will get caught pretty easily. Last 5.8 kilometers, Alvarez can take over from Romeo, and Romeo can get out of the way. Lorenzo Finn is in the wheel of, I think, Jorgensen, so he should stay fine. Now it's time for Morgado to take over and Alvarez to go out of the way. Kubish in the perfect position. We simply have to win this. Come on, boys. Morgado can launch right now. Kubish in the wheel looking fantastic, and he can launch now. Perfect lead out. Come on, buddies. Magnier is ready to launch right now with Moschetti on the left side, and Moschetti's gonna pass us. No! We lost all our energy with 2 kilometers to go, and Welsford wins, so ay. That's a really sad outcome. Magnier was quite literally the favorite and we finished 5th, so that's pretty terrible. Now, I must confess that stages like this one, stage 5, are a bit scary because Skjelmose is the favorite. But with 76 medium mountain and 79 hill stat, I feel like the stage could fit Magnier if he's in the breakaway. Although I'm not completely sure. Oh, Magnier is not starting at the front of the peloton though, exactly at the back, so that's gonna be difficult to get him in the breakaway, and Romeo is too close to the 1st place in GC to go in the breakaway, so I think I'll try and go ahead with Alvarez and try and set a bit of a tempo on 85, and in the meanwhile try and get everybody to the front so that I can go in the breakaway with someone that can actually do something. Oh, I should have lost time with Morgado as well because he's only on 49 seconds and would be a perfect contender in the breakaway, but Magnier is moving up and almost at the front. Let's try to sit up with Alvarez right now. Arieta on the right side will try to launch Magnier into the breakaway. Come on, boys. And it looks like in the peloton, Trek does not care too much, so that's good. Oi, the gap to the peloton is only 1 minute right now from this chasing group, and it's looking like the peloton is starting to chase properly now, so I don't think this is gonna work. I'll drop back Magnier to the peloton because I don't believe in this breakaway. It might be possible to win from the peloton though, so let's try to do that. Anyway, roughly halfway the stage, and we do have a breakaway of 6 riders with some decent climbers, but it's being controlled at 2 minutes, so it's not going anywhere. And well, that is good for me. Roughly 65k to go, and the breaks gap was starting to expand to 4 minutes, so I decided to put Hector Alvarez at the front of the peloton on a decent relay to try and keep this breakaway under control. Alvarez is done for and dropped, so Kubish is now pacing in the peloton, and the gap is now roughly 2 minutes 20 to the breakaway with about 40 kilometers to go. go, so it's still okay. Yeah, 20 kilometers to go and the breakaway is basically doomed. Only 3 riders left and the peloton is right here with Pericas pacing them down. I don't even have to pace anymore because Trek is doing it for me. Now it's time to prep for the sprint for Magnier. There is a climb in the last 10 kilometers though, but it's not that steep, so I think we should survive. I'm trying to keep my train to the front, but Trek is properly accelerating now with Skelmose attacking actually, but I don't think he's going anywhere. There we go, attacks have been thwarted. I think that's a word. Pericas on 90 is fine. Romeo's ready to do 95-99. We're now on the flattest section to the top, so that is perfect. 97 right now, I'll go with Romeo. Honestly, I think this is unlosable. 2.8 kilometers to go. Morgado's looking good. A downhill upcoming, so I gotta keep that in mind. Morgado can launch his sprint right now with Magnier in the wheel, knowing that downhill is coming. And Finn and Magnier can launch their sprint right now before the downhill. There goes Magnier on the right side of the road. Skelmose in the middle on the cobbles, and Morgado's gonna win. My lead out. Okay, I'll take it. And actually, there might be a few gaps here between GC riders, so I wonder what that means for GC. I think that's our 3rd stage win in this race after 5 days, so we are cooking the competition here, and it's with our lead out, which is the most shocking part. Okay, Magnus Sheffield is still in the lead of the race, so I don't think the gap at the finish line was counted. Romeo still in 2nd place on 10 seconds, and Finn on 20 seconds, so no real changes. But hey, after the stage, Paul Magnier takes control of the green jersey in this race, taking it away from Matteo Moschetti, so let's try and keep this. I want to take that jersey home at the end of the Vuelta. Like, I'm sorry, I'm happy with the stage win, but there were certainly gaps on the finish line, and them not being counted is kind of unfair. But hey, after 5 stages, Lorenzo Finn is the best placed GC rider, so I can't complain too much. Ooh, stage 6 is fascinating because if I look at the parkour, I feel like I could survive this with Magnier in the peloton and fight for the stage win, but I think this might be breakaway. I think my strategy is sending Morgado in the breakaway, and if the break gets caught, then it's Magnier. Oh, come on, once again starting at the back of the peloton with the exact rider I want to send in the breakaway, to the point that honestly, I might as well go in the breakaway with Magnier instead. I will do exactly that right now. There we go, Paul Magnier into the attack. I think I do want the 2nd rider in that breakaway, so Alvarez can try and join this group here. Okay, the attack by Alvarez failed. I'll try that one more time on the left. Come on, Skelmose, let me go. And Stuyven starts pacing, so there's no point in doing this. Let's wait on the peloton with Alvarez and let's focus on Magnier by himself, but in a 7-man breakaway, then I don't really believe in the breakaway. And it looks like I'm right not to believe in the breakaway because Visma is already setting control in the peloton. 3 minutes is the gap, so I think I'll try and go for the intermediate sprint points here and then I'll drop back to the peloton. Let's take a look. Is anyone gonna try and outsprint Paul Magnier for these green jersey points? I don't think so, so I can just roll over the line. Yes, indeed, that is how many points? I actually don't know. 20 points, that's proper. That's so many points that I'm actively considering trying to survive the next climb in the breakaway and go for the next intermediate sprint point as well. Okay, that is perfect. We survived that climb and this is the next sprint. So once again, 20 points for Magnier, which is very welcome. We're now at 110 points, which is 65 points more than Moschetti. 55, sorry. But the gap to the peloton is only 2 minutes 30, so I'm dropping back to the peloton. I don't believe in the breakaway. I'll try to catch them, and I'll try to win the stage with Paul Magnier. I decided to pace a little bit on this big climb, and Sam Welsford is now off the back of the peloton, and Moschetti is suffering as well. Christofferson, a bunch of sprinters, Groenewegen as well, off the back, but he's a bit washed. 76 sprint only after a couple of years. But hey, the less pure sprinters, the better for us. Okay, 30 kilometers to go on the last classified climb of the day, but there's still a bump in the last 5 kilometers. There's still a breakaway though, roughly 2 minutes 36 on the road here, Lebere, Umba, and Tolio, but I'm trying to pace them down now in the peloton with the likes of Kubish, Visma, and Trek, and hopefully we can make it work. Because, well, spoilers, to win the stage, we have to catch the breakaway. Over the top of the climb, 22 kilometers to go, not in the greatest position trying to move up, but the gap is still 2 minutes, so I'm not that confident. Arrieta, it's time for an all-out attack in the downhill with my train to try and catch this breakaway. The last 10 kilometers are coming pretty soon, the gap is still 1 minute 10, come on team, 99 Arrieta, we gotta catch them. The breakaway is starting the final bump in the last 5 kilometers. I've got Mr. Pericas now on 99, Magnier and Gigel, Finn as well. We gotta try and catch them on this climb. Let's do all-out attack with Pericas. Why not? Morgado in the wheel can try and launch as well. And I think this might just be us riding away because the breakaway has been caught and I've got no energy on nobody. So this might not be ideal. Let's try and get Pericas on 99 leading us out. We have 3 riders now, but no red bar, which That's a bit scary. Last 1.4 kilometers, Morgado launches, Magnier in the wheel together with Finn can launch as well, but I'm not too confident. Come on, Finn on the right, Magnier in the middle. Is Magnier gonna win? But Holland Johannessen's trying to come around, and we still win! Yes! That was absolute chaos, but Paul Magnier delivers the victory once again. That's 4 stages out of 6. Oh la la, such a stressful final, but we delivered the victory after going in the breakaway with Magnier, taking all the sprint points, and is that 90 sprint points in one day? Honestly, I'm not sure it's 90, but our gap in the green jersey classification is now gigantic. 80 points lead on Moschetti. Exactly these stages is why I decided to sign Paul Magnier for our team, because he's not just a flat sprinter, 76 medium mountain, 79 hill stat is perfect to survive this stage and fight for the victory. By the way, still no real changes in GC. We've still got Romeo in second place on 10 seconds, but more importantly, Finn on 20 seconds in third place. Okay, time to calm down and focus on this one, because stage 7 is a mountain stage and Enric Mas is the favorite? That says a lot about the climbing field in this race. But hey, you and I both know what our goal is. I want to try and win the stage with Lorenzo Finn or get as close as possible. And I want to give Finn full support here, so no breakaway. Lots of riders trying to join the breakaway, but I don't care. I have no plan to do that. I'll try and use Kubish to protect Lorenzo Finn in the peloton here, and these are actually pretty serious climbs, especially the second last one. That said, Lorenzo Finn starts with 79 mountain on the day, so I'm feeling pretty okay with that. I think his fitness peak is coming in the third week, so exactly when we need it the most. The breakaway of 16 riders is now starting the biggest climb of the day, the second last climb, and the steep part of that is actually already over, but the gap to the peloton is about 6 minutes, so it's possible that the breakaway wins, but I don't care too much about that. I care about taking time on my competitors. One by one, the breakaway is crumbling to 6 riders, 5 riders, and Hindley is in here. He's on 11 minutes in GC, so not exactly a danger. And Jordan Giga, look at my t-shirt. He's right here! Anyway, the peloton is now also topping this climb about 7 minutes behind the breakaway, still led by Trek, and I'm doing nothing. I'm waiting for the final climb. Now it's time for the final climb, the Alto de Capilera, 20 kilometers 6% with a bit of a flat section in the middle, and I'm trying to keep myself in the front segment of the peloton, but I also don't want to spend too much energy at the start of the climb, you know? That flat section is now behind us, so the final portion of the climb is about to begin, and it's 7 kilometers, so let's get ourselves ready. Matthias Kjelmosen not exactly in a fantastic position. I'm ahead of him for now, but I think he's gonna move up pretty soon. We've got ourselves on 85 is a lot for 4 kilometers, but NHL is coming as we speak. And there comes a move on the right side of the road by Archie, Ryan, and Butrago. I'm gonna try and move up right now. Come on, boys. Move up, move up. There comes a move by Skjelmos at the front now. So, Boy teleported to the front. Perikas can protect Mr. Finn now, and we gotta move up now on 88. Come on, Finn. No time loss here. Ay, this is not looking fantastic. 1 kilometer to go, and we are moving up, spending lots of red bar though, so a little bit scary, but I think this is the way to go. Right now comes a sprint. Come on, Finn. We're gonna try and finish right here, and we get blocked a little bit, but wait a second. This is for the stage win. The break was caught. Nobody told me about this. Enric Mas is the winner, so there were bonus seconds. To be honest, I'm not sure anything would have changed if I knew that because, well, I wasn't good enough. Oh, it's still disappointing though, especially because there's somehow a gap after P5. How? We were literally all together on the finish line, but there's an 8-second gap now. That's unfair. And I think because of that gap, Matthias Kjelmosen is now leading GC by 0 seconds on Sheffield and 7 seconds on Finn. I'm sorry, but I think I was robbed by Pro Cycling Manager here. That 8-second gap really did not exist. Anyway, calm down, it's not that big of a deal. We're only 7 seconds behind Skjelmosen, and that mountain stage was not that selective, so I'm waiting for the more selective ones. Anyway, stage 8 is once again a sprint stage with Paul Magnier as the favorite and Morgado as third favorite somehow. Either way, let's try to win it. Oh, look at who we have here. Tillon Finch in the breakaway. Ex-teammate of Sirocco, so he's still riding. Just about halfway the stage, and I'm actually pacing in the peloton a bit on the climb. The breakaway is under control, but it's more to hurt the pure sprinters. That said, the final sprint is uphill, so I'm not sure the pure sprinters really fit with this parkour anyway. But hey, Matteo Moschetti, Fretin as well, so the sprinters are dropping one by one. Anyway, last 20 kilometers now, one more climb before we get to the final sprint, and on this climb I want to pace a little bit more with Alvarez to drop some more sprinters, or actually, we just dropped 100 people, but I do think this gap is gonna be closed. 93 onto the climb with Alvarez. Let's put some damage into this peloton if we can. Alvarez is done with his work, so Kubish is now pacing us into the downhill. 148 people back in the peloton, so it's come back together actually. It's split again, and it looks like it's splitting again with 12 riders off the front, so let's hammer it right now with Mr. Perikas. But it looks like it's coming back together, Soler is bridging, yes indeed. So, one peloton again, 10 kilometers to go, let's prep for the sprint. Last 4.5 kilometers pretty soon. Is it too early to go with Romeo? It might be, to be honest. I'm going on 93, not too much. Energy gel on Magny and Finn, maybe too late. But now I'm gonna try and up it to 99 on Romeo with 2.5 kilometers to go. Come on, team. This is looking pretty good. Romeo launches, Morgado launches, Magny in the wheel. The last kilometer is nowhere near us, so it's starting now. It's not looking good at all. It actually is looking good because there's no one around us. There's a gap right here. So, Morgado, you need to go to 0 for the sole reason that I need this gap to exist. Did I accidentally close the gap? I don't think I did. Finn takes bonus seconds, Paul Magny wins, and this has to be a gap. Come on, that's a gap. Ooh, there's a gap. 4 seconds from Magny to Finn, that's sad, but 7 seconds from Finn to Skjelmose. So with the bonus seconds, that means we are in the red jersey. Let's go by 6 seconds on Skjelmose. So I'm really happy. That's also our 4th stage win, or is it our 5th? At this point, I don't even know. What I do know is that the green jersey is looking fantastic on Paul Magny. 83 points advantage on Nick Schultz of all people. Either way, that is undoubtedly a perfect stage and a perfect outcome to this sprint stage because we literally took time in GC on a flat parkour. But these first 8 stages were only the beginning to this Vuelta. For example, stage 9 is a cobble hilly parkour, which I don't know what's gonna happen there. Then we've got multiple mountain stages, another flat time trial, more mountain stages, so much left to come. But I've said it before, Lorenzo Finn is in the red jersey right now, but I want him in the red jersey at the end of this Vuelta. I want to try and win this race. And our fight for the GC victory, that is gonna be for next time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.